This lecture will focus on supportive supervision, what Kadushin and Harkness talk about in Chapter 6 regarding what is supportive supervision. The differences between administrative supervision and educational and supportive supervision. As stated in this slide, administrative supervision and educational supervision focus on instructional considerations. Administrative supervision focuses on the organizational structure. What are the policies and procedures of the organization? What are the expectations? What are the goals? What are the missions? Helping the worker understand why we're in business and what is it that we're supposed to do. Who our client is. Who's our consumer of services. Educational supervision focuses on the knowledge, skills, and the affective behavior of the worker. In other words, what is it that the worker needs to know in order to perform the job, or the why? What kinds of skills does this worker need to have? What type of tools, what type of people skills, what type of interpersonal skills, what type of data does this person need to have in order to perform the job? And then the affective behavior. We have different kinds of workers, and what is it that we need to do in order to help the workers improve their attitude or understanding about what needs to be done? Now, supportive supervision is unique in that it focuses on the emotional considerations of the worker. What is the worker's values? What is the worker's interest in accomplishing a specific job? What are the defenses, the ego defenses, the ego strengths that the worker has? What type of reassurance can I give this worker? Encouragement, recognition of achievement. What type of confidence, approval, or commendations can I give this worker in order to help them do better? What is it that the supervisor can do to show that they care about the worker in terms of what's going on? What are these emotional considerations? What are these stressors that prevent the worker? What's going on in the organization that prevents this worker from doing well? What's going on in that worker's life that may be preventing them from doing well? But I caution you when you enter into that, and that is, don't enter into the therapeutic relationship of helping and counseling that particular worker. That's why we have employee assistance programs. You have to be very careful about those boundary issues and that you don't go beyond those specific boundaries. But we're going to focus a lot about burnout, because that's very, very important as in terms of an important function of the supportive supervision piece. Defining burnout. What is burnout? Kadushin and Harkness tell us that burnout is a syndrome of physical and emotional exhaustion resulting from the occupational stress involving the development of negative self-concepts, negative job attitudes, and a loss of concern or feeling for the client. Exhaustion reaction, the result of constant or repeated emotional pressure associated with intense involvement over a long period of time. But it's very important to remember that burnout is not the same as job dissatisfaction. It more closely resembles battle fatigue. You can be dissatisfied with your job in day one. Usually the people that become burned out are those individuals who were good performers at one time, but because of the battle fatigue, they eventually became burned out in terms of what they were doing. The dissatisfied employee was never a good one. They're the ones that have always been the constant complainers. If they get burned out, they get burned out because they complain. All right? What does a burned out worker look like? Give us a description, in your own words, what a burned out worker would look like. I don't want names, please. Give a paragraph or bullet out what you think a burned out employee would be.